feed our animals at different times. Some animals eat every single day. Some animals eat, a minimum of one time a month maybe. Some animals go through what is considered to be like the reptile version of hibernation called brumation, and they're only awake for half of the year.
We feed the animals all the time. First thing that we do in the morning, part of the routine, but a lot of times we put in food for a lot of our animals, once or twice a week, and then they take care of feeding themselves for the rest of that time.
Most of the animals get fed in the morning. We ask them to come inside, and then we feed them in their inside area so that we can safely enter their habitat, because we do not go in with any of our carnivores.
They eat whenever they want. For a lot of our birds, we leave a plate full of food for them and they can choose what they want to eat throughout the day, but we also offer lots of goodies for them, certain insects, certain types of meat, or if they have a favorite fruit.
So depending on the species will depend on when the animal actually eats. Bears we like to feed about 3 times a day at various times. You don't want to ever feed them on a schedule, because then they will start to recognize that schedule and start anticipating that we're feeding them.
So our apes eat multiple times throughout the day. So in the morning and night, they'll get their big diets. And then throughout the day, we actually do multiple enrichment feedings also.
Animals eat at various times of the day. We'll also give them browse or different feeding devices.
We feed our birds here at Penguin and Puffin Coast twice a day.
We typically feed our animals first thing in the morning, but a lot of our species are fed throughout the day. So we kind of vary the way we feed our animals each day. But zookeepers do a lot of work outside of feeding the animals. So whenever you see a zookeeper walking, even if they carry a bucket, that doesn't necessarily mean we're about to feed something.
All of our animals have the ability to get away for a little bit of peace and quiet. So if you're visiting the zoo and you don't see your favorite, maybe come back around in a little bit. For a lot of the birds, you might have to look up towards the trees or look down within the grasses because they might be taking a little snooze.
9 times out of 10, the animal is actually outside, you just can't see it. Depending on the habitats will depend on if they have hiding spots, which a lot of the habitats that we have here do.
Most of the time our animals are out. They're very small, and some of them are very cryptic and hide very well in their habitats. There's an exhibit out there, there's an animal in there.
So in the herpetarium, if you see an exhibit and it doesn't have a sign on it, indicating that an animal's not currently on exhibit, there is an animal in there. It may take you a little longer to find that animal. They have really good camouflage. They're really good at blending in with their habitats.
The animals are generally out most of the day. Sometimes it takes a little bit more to find them. They might be hiding in a den or behind a tree to try to get that shade, or just to get away from people.
Some of our animals in the carnivore unit have access to their buildings. For example, our polar bear, you might be passing by the polar bear habitat and you won't see a bear anywhere because maybe he just stepped inside for a moment and he's going to be right back out. River's Edge, we've made some very naturalistic habitats, so the animals might be sitting in the shade, they might be hiding in the bamboo.
We want to make sure that the animals are as comfortable as possible. So if it's really hot or if it's raining like it is today, we want to give them the option to stay inside or be outside.
We try our best to get the apes outside as quick as we can. We still have to clean the animals' outdoor habitats and put their food out and their enrichment out. So that can all kind of take a little bit of time.
Most of us have moved very far away from our families. We spend every single day with the animals. Even though you might not see us working with them constantly, believe us when we say that we are here for them.
Is that bear lonely? Actually, bears are solitary animals. The only times that they'll be with other bears are if it's a female bear and she's with her cubs, or if it's breeding season.
What people don't really realize is that apes and monkeys are different. And one of the biggest differences is that monkeys have tails when apes do not. So the monkeys are over at the primate house.
I don't like being away from the birds, so it's hard for me to even take vacation that I should take. But I really, really enjoy it, and they say that you never work a day in your life if you do what you love. And if you want to be a keeper, do it. Definitely go and work with the animals.
A lot of people worry about Cully out in the heat of the St. Louis summer. Cully, our polar bear, has access to his air-conditioned building 23 hours a day, and he actually will choose to sleep on the rockwork from noon to 1 in the middle of July. They feel heat a little bit differently than we do. They're so well insulated with their fat layer and their thick fur coat that their core is sort of stabilized. We give him popsicles, we have an ice machine that dumps ice every few minutes, and he always has access to his air conditioning and his chilled saltwater pools.
It's the best job in the world. We take care of animals. We're also helping to make sure their kin in the wild aren't going extinct. When people come to the zoo and learn about these things, they're helping to do their part with the conservation of reptiles and amphibians too.
A lot of people ask why our cheetahs are in the river's edge, and that is because cheetahs generally prefer things a little bit more quiet. It is a little bit secluded for them out there, which is a lot better than being housed with all of the other large cats up at cat country.
As an invertebrate keeper, we just want everyone to know how amazing our animals are. They don't get as much love as some of the other things, but they're just as important as cool as anything else we have at the zoo.
Any keeper that you come across will be absolutely happy to talk to you about the animals that they care for. So if you have a burning question, don't go to Google. Go ahead and find a keeper that you see, and they would be happy to talk your ear off about their favorite animal.